Oh, hey, it's Dave from before. Dave Hill from Show Business. Dave Hill sitting here talking to you on the Novelizers. And this week on the show, we have comedian Mitra Jouhari, 10-time Emmy Award-winning writer, and my close personal friend, Eric Drysdale, plus Andrew Knox. It's the Novelizers.
Don't want your popcorn, don't want your milk duds, don't want my shoes stuck in pools of sticky cola. Don't show me romance, don't show me fist fights, just show me words printed out under the book lights. Yeah, baby, novelize the movie. Give me sentences, paragraphs, and nothing to see. Yeah, novelize the movie. Write a book and turn it into a podcast.
Did you ever see that movie Sisu?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it. Stuff explodes.
Oh, it's that movie.
I don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah.
if you don't watch it tonight, you're basically insane.
Okay.
That's a note to you and everyone listening right now.
Okay.
Welcome to the Novelizers. I'm your host, Dave Hill, and we have a great show for you today. I'm practicing saying great. But before we launch into why it's so great, and believe me, it is, let's get down to the brass tacks of what exactly this podcast is. And here to explain that is my sidekick, confidant, mentor, guy I'm about to borrow a bunch of money from, Stephen Levinson.
Oh, yeah. So The Novelizers is a show where we take classic films and then get comedy writers to turn them into hilarious audiobooks and then get your favorite actors, comedians, and various celebrities to narrate.
All right, I think I get it. And who are these celebrity writers and narrators and comedians of whom you speak? You keep bringing them up, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely. Happy to answer. Mitra Jouhari is a comedian, writer, and performer who co-created and stars in the Adult Swim series Three Busy Debras. You've also seen her in The Big Sick, The Bear, Broad City, Search Party, and more.
I want to be
shows
on
there.
all those shows.
I know. Those are good shows. Eric Drysdale is a writer and comedian who has won 10 Emmys. That's 10 more than me. And a pair of Peabody Awards for his work on The Colbert Report, The Daily Show, and Full Frontal with Samantha Bee.
He's the best.
I
I had
guy.
breakfast with him regularly, and he almost never brings the Emmys to breakfast. I find that odd.
Have you ever wanted to steal someone's Emmy? Anytime I'm in a house with an Emmy, I just want to, I know I'm not like a big heist guy, but I just want to steal one.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like I do know that feeling, and I've been there, and I do intend to steal an Emmy. I know a lot of people have won Emmys. Weirdly, I guess that's the kind of company I keep.
Yeah. Would you be one of those put it in the bathroom kind of guys, or would you like build an office just to put it on the shelf?
I don't know. I'd probably be like, yeah, I use it as a bathroom stopper. I'm not much into, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's not true. I would put it on the front lawn with like fountains and stuff.
Lights shining on it.
Yeah.
Andrew Knox is an alumnus of Second City Mainstage in Chicago and can be seen performing live in LA at the UCB Theater and on television.
Well,
Yeah. So we are midway through, we're in the thick of the Dark Knight, but where exactly are we in the story? What's happening this week?
I'm glad you asked, Stephen Levinson. Bruce prepares to turn himself in at the press conference where the Batman is meant to turn himself in. Harvey turns himself in instead, and it's nuts, honestly. I mean, I guess you see it coming now because I just told you, but still.
Note to our former intern, try to use fewer turns himself ins when you write these episode descriptions. That was like 4 of them.
Intern.
Yeah. Figure
Get
out
it
a synonym.
together.
Yeah. Mitra Jouhari. Novelize us.
Us.
The Dark Knight, Chapter 14. Fine print of the Bat Return Policy. Novelized by Eric Drysdale, narrated by Mitra Jouhari. Night falls over Gotham. In Bruce Wayne's massive penthouse, Rachel Dawes looks out at the billionaire's apartment's billion-dollar Gotham view of a couple other apartment buildings across the street. That's how bad the housing situation in Gotham has gotten. Even the richest man in the city can't afford a decent city view anymore. Of course, that's not a fight the Batman is getting involved in. He's not a vigilante for affordable housing. He's a single-issue vigilante, and that issue is crime. But might even that fight be coming to an end? Rachel takes out her phone and begins looking up the address on Zillow just to be sure Bruce really spent $66 million on this place where neighbors can just blatantly look into his bedroom. But she hears Bruce approaching. She quickly puts her phone away and says, that was Harvey on the phone. The Batman is going to turn himself in. Bruce makes a face that seems to say, yes, the Batman is going to turn himself in, and since I'm the Batman, I know this already, and so do you. Rachel's eyebrows furrow as she asks, you honestly think turning yourself in is going to keep the Joker from killing people? Yes, definitely. Seems like a man of his word, Bruce says. Rachel frowns. Probably, says Bruce. I mean, he'd have to be pretty evil if he'd, lie. Rachel continues to frown. Maybe he won't kill people? Bruce tries. Rachel registers nothing. Bruce finally gets it. No. You think, no. He's gonna keep killing people. Okay. I never really thought about it that way. Oh well, anyway, so remember how we had a deal that if I decided to stop being Batman, we'd get together, like as boyfriend-girlfriend? Bruce does the sign language thing where he makes a circle with his thumb and index finger and moves his other index finger through the circle back and forth to signify, boyfriend-girlfriend. Rachel grabs his hand, stopping the romantic/obscene gesture. Bruce, don't make me your one hope for a normal life, she insists, completely forgetting that even billionaires who are not also costume vigilantes are in no way normal and should probably be outlawed. Ignoring Rachel's worries, which is a great sign for the longevity of their relationship, Bruce gently puts his hand on her temple. Did you mean it? He asks. That we could be together? As Bruce tenderly lifts Rachel's hair from her forehead with his thumb, she softly murmurs, yes? But not in a really definitive way, not a very convincing soft murmur at all. Bruce leans in and kisses Rachel anyway. She kisses back, and honestly, really gives it to him, like at least 111% what she gave to Harvey Dent, kiss-wise. She is clearly keeping her options open just in case, say, one of these guys were to someday become a supervillain, which could totally happen. As Bruce and Rachel's lips unlock from each other, Rachel shakes her head and worries aloud. If you turn yourself in, they're not going to let us be together. As boyfriend-girlfriend. Now it's Rachel making the in-and-out finger gesture. Rachel is, of course, correct that their future is in peril, which is why they go ahead and get it on with each other one last time, just in case, right there on the floor, with the neighbors across the street getting to see the whole show through the very poorly conceived floor-to-ceiling windows of Bruce's massively overpriced penthouse. Bruce Wayne's apartment is also lacking another amenity, a place for all his vigilante stuff. All of that lives out in a warehouse at Wayne Enterprises that basically acts as a man cave for his bat persona. Or, as he'd call it, his bat persona cave. It's a terrible warehouse. It's as long as 3 city blocks, but as wide as a suburban ensuite bathroom for some reason. It has no windows and a crazy low-drop ceiling with harsh fluorescent lighting that must be a real pain in the ass to maintain. How could anyone house any wares in such a warehouse? Totally impractical on every level. Yes, even the commercial real estate in Gotham is out of control. Sometime the following morning, in his harshly lit, very hallway-like bat persona cave, Bruce looks over a collection of his crime-fighting bat items, wondering what the hell he's going to do with all this bespoke bat-branded crap if his crime-fighting career is truly coming to an end. What will become of his batsuit? His Batmobile, his Bat air fryer, his full set of Egyptian terry cloth towels that have BM embroidered in them? He holds a bat-shaped throwing star between his fingers and thumbs, rubbing it gently. He wonders to himself, if it's bat-shaped, can it even be called a throwing star? Or is it more accurately a throwing bat? Does not have the same ring to it. Bruce wonders if it was worth it, spending all this money on premium superhero leave-behinds. He had heard that Green Arrow used to take great pride in his really nice handmade mahogany arrows, but eventually realized that no criminals even cared about the quality once they'd been, say, impaled through the neck with one. Arrow just switched to cheap green plastic arrows from Oriental Training and used the default bubble letter font to print from the bow of Green Arrow on each one. He'd order a pallet of 144 quivers, each with 12 arrows at a time. Saved thousands of dollars, but not the Batman. For him, craftsmanship still mattered. Or it did? Bruce wonders how he was going to break it to all his luxury bat stuff vendors they were out of work once he turned himself in. Bruce places the throwing bat star into its custom-cut display holder and gazes upon the shiny, charcoal gray shoulders of his Batman outfit for the last time. Taking a deep breath, Bruce pushes a button on the pop-up electromechanical rich guy vigilante storage chamber closet thingy. Before he lifts his finger off the button, the whole contraption and all the bat items it displays instantly folds up and disappears from view into a hatch in the floor with a ka-chung and a whoosh, in addition to 3 other futuristic sounds. Across the room, specifically across the room east to west, because if he were across the room north to south, he'd be in another zip code, Alfred is throwing armfuls of paper and folders into an incinerator. "Anything that could lead back to Lucius or Rachel," he informs Bruce as he slams the chute closed. Alfred then separates anything that could lead back to Lucius or Rachel that is plastic rated with recycling codes 1 through 6, and anything incriminating and also compostable into 2 other separate bins and slams those closed. Alfred gives Bruce a disapproving look with that signature Cockney accent. Yes, that's how strong his Cockney accent is. Even his looks have them. Bruce preempts Alfred's look. "People are dying, Alfred. What would you have me do?" Alfred pats Bruce's back, also in his signature Cockney brogue. "Endure, Master Wayne. They'll hate you for it, but that's the point of the Batman." But Bruce's mind is made up. It's best for Gotham and best for his chances to get together with Rachel, as boyfriend and girlfriend. "It ends now," he declares. Alfred sees an opportunity to lighten the mood, which, in the tortured theater of unrelenting gloom that is a Christopher Nolan movie, is a goddamn godsend. "I told you this would be tough," he says. "I guess they might lock me up too, as your accomplice." Bruce chuckles. "Accomplice? I'm going to tell them the whole thing was your idea." The 2 old friends laugh, despite them not actually really being friends, since one of them is the other's employee, and there will always be a massive power differential there. Later, a huge group of reporters, photographers, TV crews, the public, and a handful of under-5 day players we'll hear from shortly fill up a downtown conference room. Conversation flits about the crowd as they anxiously await Harvey Dent's announcement. Bruce Wayne lingers near the back of the hall, waiting for his moment to expose himself as the Batman and accept his punishment, potentially ending this trilogy a whole film and a half early. District Attorney Harvey Dent slowly and seriously climbs up to approach the lectern. Camera flashes strobe around the room for a few seconds as it quiets. Harvey moves the gooseneck mic towards him with a screech and takes a deep breath. "I've called this press conference for 3 reasons, says Dent in an almost bellow. "First, to let you know that everything that can be done about these Joker killings is being done." A hubbub percolates throughout the crowd. Dent continues. "Secondly, if you've parked a gray 2007 Hyundai Sonata with plate number A6B88J on parking deck 5, you've left your lights on." A hubbub, slightly larger than the first, swells among the group, though nobody seems too worried about their car. Dent really should repeat that one because it was hard to hear exactly what color and year he said. But he doesn't. Instead, he continues. "Thirdly, the Batman has offered to turn himself in, and frankly, I've got mixed feelings about it." Bruce Wayne registers a look of worry, just as a woman directly behind him, one of those under-5s mentioned earlier, shouts across the room. "You'd rather protect an outlaw vigilante than the lives of citizens?" A third hubbub percolates throughout the crowd, a hubbub now approaching brouhaha levels. Dent declares, "Yes, the Batman is an outlaw, but that's not why we're demanding he turn himself in. We're doing it because we're scared. We've been happy to let the Batman clean our streets for us, until now." A pained shout rises above the crowd. "So worse than ever!" This hubs even more bub upon the already massively hubbubbed brouhaha, bringing it all to nearly hurly-burly status. Or if it were in the UK, an argy-bargy. Dent pushes his hands out in front of him to calm the crowd. "Yes, things suck," he offers. "But the night is always suckiest before the dawn." One day the Batman will have to answer for the laws he's broken. But to us, not to this madman. No more dead cops, yells a still-alive cop in his thick Gotham accent, which is like a Chicago accent, but more fictional. The crowd erupts in full hubbubbery. Other under-5s in the crowd join in, yelling things like, he should turn himself in! And, wait, did you say a gray or a black Hyundai Sonata? And more importantly and loudly, give us the Batman! Despite Harvey Dent's wishes, it's clear. The public wants the Batman to turn himself in. Dent sighs in acceptance and declares, so be it. Take the Batman into custody. The crowd swells with murmurs and conversation, all scanning the room for the man to reveal himself as Batman. Bruce Wayne steps away from the back wall, licks his hand and pats down a cowlick. He straightens his tie, making sure he's camera ready for this, the final moment of his vigilante era. He breathes deeply, lets his hands drop to his side, and begins moving toward the lectern. Just then, Harvey Dent himself declares, I am the Batman, and holds out his hands to receive his handcuffs. This brings the hubbub to its highest levels yet, levels that can only be described as a full-on tizzy. Dent is sacrificing his freedom so Bruce can continue to fight crime as Batman, at least for a while. Maybe just long enough to bring the Joker to justice. And so maybe after that, he can take on Gotham's affordable housing crisis. At Bruce's place, Rachel watches the press conference on TV in disbelief. How could Harvey take the fall for Bruce? How could Bruce let him? Rachel decides to confront Alfred in a pretty useless scene that should probably be cut and is likely just an excuse to see more of the great Michael Caine, who couldn't have been cheap to get. Why is he letting Harvey do this? She pleads. Alfred sighs and leans into his good-natured Cockney wisdom mode. Perhaps Mr. Bruce and Mr. Dent believe that Batman stands for something more important than the whims of a terrorist, Miss Dawes, even if everyone hates him for it. That's the sacrifice he's making. He's being something more, says Michael Caine as Alfred, totally nailing it as usual. You're right. Letting Harvey take the fall for this is not heroic at all, snapped Rachel. Rachel places an envelope into Alfred's hands. You know him better than anyone. Give this to him for me when the time is right, she pleads. How will I know? Asks Alfred. It's not sealed. Goodbye, Alfred, says Rachel. Goodbye, Rachel, says Michael Caine as Alfred, somehow even in those two words totally elevating this dull material once again. Seriously, that dude is money in the bank. He can even do comedy. Remember Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Thanks, Mitra, and we'll be back with way more Novelizers right after this. We're back. Every week on the show, we talk to one person who actually worked on the film The Dark Knight, and this week, I believe, we're talking to Christopher Nolan. Cool. Oh, wait, I misread that. We're talking to the crime consultant, which is totally different. Still kind of cool, I guess. Anyway, let's hear that interview. What do you say?
Hello, and welcome to the interview portion of the Novelizers. I'm Christine Bullen, and I am so excited to interview our guest today. We are joined today by the one and only Matthew Criminal. Now, he worked on the film The Dark Knight. Tell me what you did on the film. All I know is that you were the crime consultant. So let's get into it.
Yeah, my birth name is Matthew Criminal. Happenstance became a crime consultant for movies, and the way I started doing that, like someone who used to work for NASA, might help with space movies. I used to work a lot of crime, and now I help crime movies.
So this reminds me of like people who are criminals and then start working for the FBI. What's that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Man in the Mask.
No, he was a criminal, and then he starts working for the FBI because he knows how to do crime so well.
Yes, Gilbert Grape. Yes,
no,
yes.
Not Gilbert Grape, and not Titanic.
I haven't seen it.
Anyway, I want to hear, how were you involved? How did you get hired as the crime consultant?
I've done a lot of crime consultation on movies for screenwriters, for producers, directors. My time on set was, I will say, Christine, it was so much fun. I felt like I was at summer camp. Every crime that was in the movie, here's why I was hired. I did that crime. Every crime you saw, even from the smallest to the biggest, I have done that crime in my personal life. So
Okay, let me
perfect.
Let me try to understand this. So this script was written and then they brought you on. How is it that you had done all of the crimes that were written in this script?
Well, I've done so much. I've done so many crimes. I wouldn't say that all the crimes I've done are contained to just this script. I've done way more crimes than are just in The Dark Knight. But it happens that I've checked all those boxes.
Okay, so how are you not in prison?
I have been.
Mhm.
I have been. Yeah, I've read that book.
How are you out of prison?
I've always, when I've had to get lawyers, I've been like, I want the best, and it pays off. Better ingredients, better pizza. It's kind of that approach to lawyers.
Do you have a lot of money? Do you come from money? How do you have the resources, I guess, from some of the crimes that you've committed?
I think if you ask politely, you'd be surprised at how far you can get. Because no, both of my parents died from poverty when I was young.
And that might have been what led you into the life of crime that you've been a part of.
And you know what? I never really thought about that. But it is, when I start to think about it, it is kind of true. I did have to steal food to eat, but I never really put those two together. That's really interesting.
Sort of like an Aladdin thing, you know?
Yeah, speaking of Leo, one of my favorite, he played the parrot. So yeah, I sort of, crime was kind of what raised me. And then movies sort of came around, and I was on set once for a movie for one of the Harry Potters. And I was like, wouldn't it actually be like this for a crime?
Give me an example. What was the crime on Harry Potter that you're referencing?
It was when they broke into Gringotts to the bank.
So
They broke in.
you've done a bank robbery.
Oh yeah, check schedule for later today. Yeah, I've done some and I will some. Yeah. Yeah.
You've killed a lot of people.
I've killed people, but I will say I've never killed someone by accident. And that's important to me. I've only killed people that I don't want to be living.
Does anyone die by accident in this movie?
I don't know.
think probably some, but
Probably.
that's out of your purview then, because you weren't responsible if someone died by accident, you know?
Right. I only want intentional blood on my hands. And if you blow up a hospital and somebody who's like 30 feet away dies, yeah, that sucks. If people in the hospital die, well, sure. Intention meet impact.
Got it. Okay. It's hard actually to kind of come to terms with the fact that I'm talking to someone who's murdered a lot of people and is now free. Do you have a hard time in your life knowing that you've committed a lot of really heinous crimes?
Thank you. No, in what way?
In the way that you've taken lives from people who maybe
Right.
didn't deserve that?
Oh, in like owing them something?
Feeling bad.
Oh, that's so no. I didn't. No. I think that life, everyone's sort of spit out onto this big old board game, and you want to make your moves and things like that. And if I'm taking pieces off the board, well, that's just part of my game, you know? I would also, and I hate to talk politics. Look, like, does anybody get in trouble anymore? Right? So I won't apologize for being ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Well, that is a really good point. We're sort of in a different world now. So, okay,
Yeah.
I want to talk specifically about your experience on The Dark Knight, knowing that you were there to consult on the film and provide authenticity to these moments because you've had actually experienced this. It's reframing the whole thing for me. I mean, I'm thinking specifically about a scene where, you know, the Joker, well, he has two people sort of fight to the death to join his team, and he breaks a pool cue and hands it to them. Where did that come from?
Spring Break. For real. The Cancun one where Limp Bizkit blew up a boat. I was there. That's separate. The boat thing's separate. I was there. I'm drinking with my friends. I've had like 3 Corona Lights, feeling like my true self, you know? And some people were like fighting, and I was like, okay, one of you can actually come to our party tonight, but you have to fight to the death. Here's a broken pool cue. I did it. And here's what's funny. They both died. Anyways,
Oh, okay.
I recorded it on my Razor.
On your Razor phone.
Yeah, so you can't really see who it is, and it kind of looks like a Monet video, but yeah.
Did you serve time for this crime or?
No, because it was in Cancun.
Oh, well, and also I guess you sort of prompted. You didn't actually kill anyone.
Oh yeah, I could just probably be like, I was kidding. So you can't lock somebody up for kidding.
What's the most exciting crime you've ever committed?
That was in The Dark Knight?
Yeah, let's do that one first, and then we'll see what else lives there.
Okay. Most exciting one for me that also was in the Dark Knight was Hospital Blow Up. I did that one. Yes.
In real life.
Yeah, in real life. It was an animal hospital, but it was huge. There must have been 30,000 animals in there. And I spent all night. It was almost like decorating a Christmas tree, Christine. I was putting all these little bombs all over it, decorating the whole hotel, and then I blew it up.
Do you have animals? You have pets?
Yeah. Oh, I'm such an animal lover. I have a hobby farm.
But didn't it make you feel sad when you murdered all those animals?
I think that the sense of accomplishment was so large that any other feeling I was feeling sort of shivered in the shadow of that I couldn't access it. Have you ever felt that way?
Gosh, I hold the pull-up record from my elementary school. Yeah, I guess I feel really accomplished about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still there, and that's been a long time,
Oh my gosh, that's your dog hospital. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but I didn't hurt anyone or even myself in the making of that record.
You have to rip muscles to get them to grow. That's what lactic acid's all about. So I guess I just ripped different muscles.
When you were working on the Dark Knight and you were on set, did it scare anyone that you had committed these crimes, or was that a secret that you kept?
I got to decide who I told. And I told everyone. I told everyone right away. I said, and honestly, I messed up so many takes because they would do something and I'd be like, whoa. And I'd be like, I did that.
Oh, because you were just trying to continue to get accolades and
give me an attaboy or something. One time I did walk, when he slams the guys, he pencils the guy's eye.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. If they let that go for literally half a frame more, I walk in and I bow. But they cut it real fast. If you watch it, they cut it because they don't want a random person bowing.
Well, sure. I mean, didn't that frustrate them that you were kind of jumping into the shot?
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Keith Ledger was pissed.
I would be too. I mean, he's working so hard, and it would be hard to have someone jump in and be like, I did that real life better,
I didn't say better. I did do it better. I didn't say better, though.
That would be annoying, I feel like.
Oh, I've been told by so many people I'm annoying, and I have killed them. I have killed them for saying that, a few. Mostly family. And I don't really think about other people's perspectives that much because I think that's just quicksand. You're not going to fight your way out of those kind of thoughts. So I just don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Has there ever been a time when you were working on a film and you couldn't relate to what was in the script? You just couldn't, you hadn't committed this crime and you just didn't know how to even consult on it?
Yes, absolutely. You've got mail. It didn't make sense to me.
Why were you there? There's really no crimes committed in that movie.
Well, there was, and it's corporate crime because it's a big store takes over. It's not illegal, but it's criminal activity. Big store takes over a small store kind of thing. And I kept saying to the director, whose name is escaping me now, I kept saying, have her kill him. Have her fucking kill him. Wouldn't you love that? Halfway through, Tom Hanks is dead. Now what?
I mean, it would certainly be surprising. It's always kind of exciting to see a different perspective on it. I don't think I would have liked it if she killed him.
That's not fair. That's not fair of you to say. That's really unfair of you to say because you didn't see it. If Steve Zahn got the girl, she marries Steve Zahn.
What are you working on now?
Oh, a ton. Honestly, this is my only 20-minute window this year that I have. Yeah, I'm working on so much. I'm doing all the Beatle biopics.
And in what way are you consulting on that? So there's not crimes being filmed, I guess.
Well, I will say, watch the movie. There's a lot of murder in it. Paul kills John. John kills Paul. Ringo assaults George. Also funny, we talked about Harry Potter. I'm doing the new Harry Potter TV series with Max. I'm doing a lot on. I'm doing Heated Rivalry season 2. And then Bluey. I do a lot of Bluey.
Bluey?
Mm-hmm.
There's no crime in Bluey. My kids watch Bluey.
Right. I think you're thinking of Blue's Clues, which is for kids. I'm talking about the animated Blue Healer from Australia.
The Blue Healers, and there's the 2 girls. And, the 8-minute episodes. They're meant for children.
I'm the crime consultant on that.
I haven't seen crime in that.
Well, it's subtle. It's for camera. It's not going to be big in your face, but yeah, there is some crime. A lot of Muffin stuff. I'll do a lot of the stuff for the character Muffin.
Oh, Muffin's so sweet. I didn't even know that this was a whole dark underside of this show.
I don't think, here's something that I want to just say, because I think it is a cloud over this conversation. Why is all crime bad?
Great question.
What is that stigma?
I do love you turning the question back to me. I guess I care about the value of human life, and I think it's really important for people to be able to have justice. And so I'm frankly confused because, you seem like such a nice guy and obviously hardworking. And
I've also done a lot of happy crime too.
But you've murdered a lot of people in really heinous ways.
Okay, yeah, but I don't mean to be gross here because we're really latching on to murder. If you just only knew about people's poops, you'd probably think that's a disgusting person, right?
Wow.
We're holding on to just one gross aspect.
You're right. If all I thought and knew about someone was the shit that comes out of their butthole, I would have a much harder time.
Yeah.
So are you excited about any upcoming projects? I know you mentioned a couple. What's something that's really exciting for you right now?
Okay, LA 2028, the Olympics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're working on a film about the Olympics?
No, I'm playing basketball.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought this would be connected to the crime that you commit or the role that you have as a crime consultant.
Specifically about crime? Oh, yeah. I'm doing another hospital this summer.
Wow. And are there people who are aware of this, or is this something that only I know?
You're the first that I'm telling. I will say it's at sea. It's going to be one of the hospitals on a cruise ship.
Well, then the whole cruise ship is going down.
No, I'm just going to do the hospital.
I don't know how
it's like
that's
2 rooms.
Oh my God. How's the boat going to survive?
Well, I'm not going to make a hole in the outside of the boat. I'm just going to blow up those 2 rooms to sort of be like, he's still got it. It's like a celebrity doing a commercial. They're like, it's not a movie, but you're still seeing them. They're still in the zeitgeist. It's that kind of thing.
Well, listen, I'm confused by you, but regardless, I'm thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. And I'd like to say I wish you luck, but I'm going to be honest, I don't really want you to be successful in your crime. But hey, I hope you do well at the Olympics.
Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. And can I say, Christine, you have such a wonderful energy.
Wow. Forget what I said about not trusting you. I think you're great.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you, Christine. That's our show for tonight. Thanks to my guests, Mitra Jouhari, Eric Drysdale, and Andrew Knox. Be safe out there. Watch your backs, watch your rooftops, and most of all, be careful out there. It's a crazy world. Well, with all those clowns with weird makeup running around, committing crimes and fighting with people who are in turn dressed as a bat, which just something to look out for, I guess. Just keep your wits about you. The Novelizers is hosted by me, Dave Hill, and produced by Stephen Levinson. Hey, Stephen. With Graham Douglas, Cole Emhoff, Kevin Carter, Christine Bullen, Dennis DeClaudio, and Rob Kuttner. Music by Cole Emhoff. Additional editing by Sunita Haberline. Graphic design by Crystal Dennis. Theme song by Andrew Lynn. Performed by Knots. Additional support by Elizabeth Taveras. Distributed by Cincinnati Public Radio. The Novelizers is an AI-free podcast, written, narrated, and edited, and scored entirely by human beings. Can you imagine that? The Novelizers is a work of unauthorized parody. Sue us. See what I care. Follow The Novelizers on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And please support us on Patreon. Copyright 2026 Novelizers, LLC.